I swear, all of your kid genes said, "Alright, I'ma head out." They were not playing. Oh shit! I just realized I started my video. Hey, what's up, my niggas? It's been a fucking while, and by a fucking while, I mean like 4 weeks. My bad. Honestly, I don't give a fuck. But this is What If Deku was a werewolf part 3, I think. Yeah, it's 3. Okay, last time he beat the fuck out of those 0 pointers. Like when I say the fuck out of the 0 pointers, I mean he beat the shit out of the 0 pointers more than Ichigo beat the shit out of Aizen. That type of beat the shit. Okay, Ichigo wakes up inside the bed, and well, the medical bed from Recovery Girl, and he looks beside him, and what do you know? I'm sorry, it's been a while. Ochako is sitting next to him. Well, laying next to him. Now he tries to get out the bed slowly, and she just pulls him back down like she's like on demon time. She says, "Nah, none of that shit." And he already knows where this is going. But before anything goes down, the nurse opens up the blinds for space. You know, the cloth thing they open and close. Inside of school. Any fucking way. She opens it up and they're interrupted. Now, at this point, she checks up on Izuku one final time. This time, she checks up on him just to make sure there's no internal bleeding and to make sure that he's okay all in all. Because he was stepped on by the 0 pointer and that bit was big as hell. I mean, that bit was bigger than my off subject. But, yeah. Basically, he was stepped on by the 0 pointer. Now, Recovery Girl reassures him that he's getting his spot in UA. There's no possible way he's not. And Izuku's at this point freaking out, but he sees Ochaka behind him, so he's trying not to freak out. And I'm gonna say the werewolf genes changed him a little bit, so he isn't gonna be the fucking nerdy pussy he was in the original. I'm gonna get attacked inside the comments for that shit. I know I'm gonna get attacked in the comments for that. But, you know, he isn't a little bitch boy like the original. So instead, he mans up and he says okay with a smile to show that he's actually happy and to not make it obvious that he's trying to act tough. Now, he walks home with Uraraka and they make eye contact and they already know what's happening. They get in down in the DM, it go down. It go down in the DM, it go down, it go down. I'm skipping this part since I'm on the phone with my friend right now. But you know, I'll explain that shit later. If we get another part, you know, if you niggas are up for it, any fucking way. Yeah, he wakes up the next day, and he goes back to his normal training. Now this goes on for a week until UA starts. Now, as UA starts, he's genuinely hoping that he does not have to use his power. Because since he's the first ever alpha inside of this, well, not first ever, but you know, a reborn state of an alpha from a curse, he's a lot stronger. And people would fear him more than they would fear a normal werewolf. Even if he could die the same as them, he still heals faster. So if he was to get hurt by Wolfsbane or anything like that, it would heal faster, but you know, it would probably still, you know, kill him if he got hurt by it too much. Sorry if you can hear the PlayStation sounds in the back. But anyway, he's walking and he sees Ochaka. So he waves at her and she waves back. The reason that he saw her was because she was waiting inside the hallway for him, since she knew that he obviously passed. Like, there was no possible way he didn't pass. And she's walking next to him. Oh, and by the way, she didn't pass over any of her points, so she still, you know, had the same amount of points, and she isn't going to be looked down on as the original. Well, not exactly looked down on, but she won't be underestimated. Anyway, at this point, he's walking into class and he sees someone familiar, and this is fuck. I have not done this in such a fucking long time. Let me Google search this shit. Sorry for the background, but like I need to search this. Oh shit, I know who it is. He then sees Jiro. Now Jiro sees him, and obviously they know each other. She stands up inside of just shock and disbelief, and she says, "You are." And before she can finish what she says, he flashes his eyes at her. Which, since she's a beginner, like, Scott was inside the original, just her senses alone made her sit down. Now, a trained werewolf, it could resist its alpha's commands, unless, it was an untrained werewolf inside of a full moon, then, it'll probably kill the fuck out of its alpha. Anyway, as he does this, she sits down and her eyes glow back. Now, he says to Uraka that he's gonna go and talk to Jiro over there because she's an old friend that he hasn't seen in a while, which is not true at all. But he says so. Now he starts freaking out because he realizes that when he went on his rampage on the full moon, it wasn't, just a dream. It actually happened. So he actually ended up infecting someone with becoming a werewolf, the werewolf virus. Or not really a virus, but a curse. So he goes to talk to her, and she's freaking out and kind of happy, but kind of mad to see him. She's happy because she could learn what's happening to her and why all this is going down. She's mad because this is the person that literally almost killed her. Well, his intentions weren't almost to kill her, but she doesn't know this. And she's basically asking a bunch of questions. And he's just like, okay, listen. Don't show your powers to anyone else, because our powers are way too similar. When we get over these tests, which most likely these tests are to see who's actually meant for this class and who's to get kicked out of the class, since he's smart and actually thinking and not talking to everybody else like the original. He says, just show your normal powers. And I promise, if you meet me at this address, he says, as he pulls out a piece of paper and a pencil, and he writes down his address and his phone number. And he basically gives it to her, and he says, I will teach you everything it is to become a true werewolf. Now, she looks at him with an angry face, because she wants to know now. And also, she kind of has a little bit of hate in her heart for him, since, bitey. And he basically goes to walk back to Uraka. And he sees this baddie. Like, I ain't gonna lie, right, my guy. Like, he sees this baddie. And her name is, of course, Momo. Now, he goes to holler at Momo, on his player shit, on some real shit. And he like, what's good? And then she's just like, what's good? And, as I told you from the beginning, his looks kind of increased like Scott's did, or his physical physique. Since everything from his body was improved, it kind of made him more attractive. So, yeah. And basically, he's talking to her, and he just basically spitting game. Like he on some real player shit, my nigga. Like he on some King Von type player shit. Nah, he on some Durkio type of player shit. So you know he gets her with the punchline. Let me think of a punchline. I I I got one. He says directly to her, "This is about to be an anime meme, so you guys, please just know I would not say this in real life. Like I please trust me that I would not say this in real life. Please." He she's like, well, he's like, "Is you Sasuke?" And then she says, "What?" And then he's like, "Cause I want you to be calling my name by the end of the day." Now, this kind of just confused her because it wasn't a cool punchline at all. Like, if you don't know what Naruto is, you wouldn't get what I meant by that. AKA calling names, cause Sasuke Naruto, that whole fucking thing. But anyway, he says this, and it's a complete flop, which kind of turns her off, and she just kind of faces away from him with just pure embarrassment in her heart because there's nothing that you can do but be embarrassed for a person after a pickup line flops like that. Like it flopped like the 6ix9ine, like 6ix9ine's album. But you know, after it flopped, he comes up with another one. Now this one is gonna be. Don't ever use this one, you guys, because like I'm pretty sure you will get a sexual assault case. Well, not a sexual assault, but sexual harassment case for this. Now, he says, "Are you an Oreo?" And then she says, "Nah." And they like, "Cause I want to cream you." And she just stares at him at this point. Like, it wasn't a flop necessarily, but it was just a little bit too forward. Like, when you first getting into dating someone, you don't say something like that. Let me tell you. Please do not say something like that unless you guys are like a jokingly couple or like, getting to be a couple. Please do not be overly sexual. And yes, I am talking to you, little Anthony in the fucking corner, looking at my hero fucking jacking off to fucking togos or some shit. But yeah, let's get back into the main story. So she just walks away from him. She doesn't even say a word, and he's just standing there. And Uraraka walks up behind him and then puts a hand on his shoulder, and then she's like, "I'm still here." And he like, "Nigga, you ain't that good for real. Like, I mean, like, you were good, but like you weren't that good now. Don't get too cocky now." All right. So after all this goes down, Aizawa gets up and says, "It took you guys 20 minutes to get quiet. That won't do." Now, as he says this, he gets up and then says, "Come on, you guys. Let's go and assess your quirks." Now, everyone's just freaking out because they're supposed to be going to the entrance ceremony of the school, and you know he's just trying to skip over this. And the entrance ceremony can make you could do a lot for you. It could get you to make new friends. You can make good ties with heroes. I mean, like, there's a lot of things that could happen. And sorry if you hear the quiver in my voice, because, like, I haven't done this in a fucking while. And, like, yeah. Anyway, after he says, let's go assess our quirks, everybody's complaining. And Aizawa was walking out of the door. Which at this point, Todoroki walks out of the door right after him, and then Bakugo. So after everybody sees them leave, they decide to leave because, they follower ass niggas. And they all go after them. Now, everybody tests their quirks. Everything goes the same. Literally. Until Izuku comes up. Now, since I'm not one to make him overpowered unless he really needs the power boost, I'm not gonna say he got as far as he did, but he got like, I'll be generous saying that, but like, he got like 2,000 meters. 2,000 meters, yeah. I think like his anime was like, original was like 12 or like 10, maybe like 10 or 12. So, he gets pretty far, and he ends up beating Bakugo's score. Now, Bakugo holds him by the collar until Izuku flashes his red eyes. Now, the thing about his red eyes is it doesn't only affect betas. It affects everyone. When his eyes go off, it's kind of like when you can tell a alley's shady and something bad will most likely happen to you. You decide not to go down there because you can just feel. You could just your natural senses alone could feel that something could go bad there or go wrong, and you would not be able to get out of that situation. So, his natural senses come and Bakugo's trying to ignore them and just beat the crap out of Izuku. But he pulls his hand up, and then as soon as he tries to, shoot his hand directed towards him, his hand stops. It's almost like him looking into Izuku's eyes alone. It's like Izuku's controlling his body, but out of pure fear. He doesn't know he's feeling pure fear, but he is, and like, he's feeling pure fear. So he's not moving. And basically at this point, he's just trying to move his body alone, but the longer that he stares into his eyes, it feels like the harder the pull towards his entire body being stopped is. By the way, you can talk, Nathan, since I don't have my computer sound on, so they won't be able to hear you. Anyway, uh, yeah. So after this happens, Zuko walks past Bakugo and pats him on the back, completely, I mean, completely disrespecting him, and then saying, "Nice try. Why don't you try again next time?" And this completely shatters Bakugo's just pride. Like, just pride alone, it completely shatters him. Now, all the other tests go about the same, except for the strength and the speed. And, the one that I just said. The speed, he was faster than Ida because, well, he's a werewolf. Like, I'm pretty sure on Teen Wolf they could go like 30 or 40 miles per hour just by normal human running speed. But after they transformed, I think they could go a little bit faster, but it wasn't much of a boost. Anyways, yeah, he just pause. He just smashes everybody on everything else. Pause. And I mean, like, this was kind of like a cringe-worthy first coming back video, but I don't really care, bruh. And I have new what ifs, not just Deku or Naruto what ifs, but like trans, like into another world. And the reason that I stopped wasn't because I ran out of ideas. The reason that I stopped was, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I was too lazy to do anything. I'm gonna be completely honest with you, bruh. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I don't even know if you guys can hear this, but I'm gonna play this meme just so, for the memes. That that that's how it be feeling when you guys be fucking bitching in the comments. So just know if I go on a break, I ain't gonna be coming back until I feel like coming back, and if I don't come back, I don't come back. So yeah, I'll see all of you guys later. Don't die. Don't catch a STD. Don't catch syphilis. Don't catch corona. I mean, like, don't catch cancer. And yeah, stay real. Stay in the streets. NTSD gang. I'ma see you later.